All right, good evening. It's about 10:30 at night, and I'm home. I was out doing a little bit of Uber earlier, but it was dead slow, so nothing really happened. But I wasn't out more than just a little bit over an hour, but nothing was going on. So I'm back home, going to bed. So I'm gonna do my regular job in the morning. But this video is about what happened in Chicago, where you had the that white gentleman being cut, burnt, and just brutalized by the young black assailants. And my take on all this is pretty simple as far as that specific incident is concerned. What they did was wrong. If the tables had been turned, it had been three young white assailants and a black victim. It would still be wrong. It doesn't really matter what your race is. It's wrong. Now, for those that know me personally, I did vote for Donald Trump. Um, I don't think he's perfect for the job. I don't think he's the best choice for the job. But given the choices that I had, I voted for Donald Trump. Um, and especially without going too much deeper into why, especially being a veteran and with Hillary and Benghazi, I couldn't, in good conscience, vote for her. Now, a lot of you are upset about Trump being president, but think about this for a second. When your candidate won, if the other people were doing the same stuff that you're doing right now, wouldn't that be out of line? So why are you doing it? Each of us, including myself, from time to time, we are hypocrites in our lives. Lord knows we are. You look back and you go, that was hypocritical. Now is a good opportunity for a lot of people to stop being hypocrites. And even more important than that, now is a good opportunity for so-called black men, African American citizens, whatever you want to say, to behave in a manner, even though the candidate that a majority of them did not want. I did vote for Trump, and I don't regret it. One, now is the opportunity to show that we are not, as a collective anyway, sore losers. To show that we, as a collective, do not resort to violence. To show that we, as a collective, are a civilized group of people. At the end of the day, regardless of whom is sitting in the White House, each of us who's American anyway, and I dare say your allies too, because allies depend on us, should want whomever is elected to do what is truly best for the country. As a conservative, many of you watching this will not agree with that, and that's fine. But what these young men did in Chicago, well, young, I say young men, but these young adults in Chicago to the white guy was wrong. Imagine for a second that white guy was your son, maybe your daughter, maybe your niece, maybe your nephew, and they were in their place. Would you be happy with someone cutting, burning, and abusing them in that way? Would you not want them to be prosecuted? And for all of those that say that black people in this country have been through a lot and the atrocities of the white man and this, that, and the other, yes, there have been atrocities done in this country, slavery and this, that, and the other. But to be honest with you, an overwhelming majority of the people who are guilty of those atrocities, who were slave owners, whom were pushing Jim Crow, who were water hosing white and black people who were marching in the civil rights movement. An overwhelming vast majority of them are dead and gone. Their children and children's children may or may not have anything to do with that foolishness at all. It would be like blaming me for the sins of my late father or the sins of my grandfathers. They're all dead. I'm here. I had nothing to do with what they did. If they did evil, then I'll acknowledge they did an evil. That's it. I had nothing to do with what they did. Stop blaming people for the crimes that their ancestors committed, and only blame the people themselves who are guilty of the crimes, including these 3 young African Americans that abused this white guy in Chicago. I know this is something that a lot of you probably don't like me saying, but as I've said to you before, for those of you that know me on my Facebook page, and for those of you, of course, that are now getting to know me on YouTube because of my Uber 757 channel, I will always give you my honest opinion and honest thoughts on things. And this is my honest opinion and honest thoughts on things. People are human beings, regardless of their color. It's simply a difference in pigmentation, basically a difference in your deoxynucleic acid, basically your DNA, okay, and other differences, okay, but still human, still classified as human. I have a brother. We look similar, but we are different. But we are both still human. I have shipmates in the Navy of different races and nationalities. A couple of guys were, I think I served with one even technically American citizens when I served in the Navy, but they love his country so much they served anyway. But they're all still human. Treat each other as best you can with respect. None of us is going to be perfect. I screw up at times. I say things and do things I shouldn't do. But I'm not going to beat somebody down, burn them, or torture them because they voted for somebody I don't like. All that does is make that group of people look worse. And God knows the way things are in America, especially for black males. We don't need that. Good night.